Hello and welcome to the Chilled Cardano podcast. I am Illinois with my co-host Chilled Cardano. How are you doing, sir?
Eric, it's the fantasy football playoffs. We're here to give you all the... Oh, sorry, wrong podcast. I'm doing great, Eric. Everything's good. Everything's great. It's the week before Christmas for our Christian brethren out there. Also, happy Hanukkah to our Jewish brethren. And anything else?
Kwanzaa
happy Kwanzaa, you know, our Kwanzaa brothers. Anybody we're missing?
And happy Boxing Day or something.
Happy
like
Boxing
that.
Day for our boxer brethrens.
I think that's the day after Christmas.
Okay.
So we'll save that one.
We're covered.
But yeah, we are here to talk about everyone's favorite subject, cryptocurrency, specifically ADA. And boy, did we have a fun week.
Little dumperoonie.
Little dump. I guess it was more like the S&P kind of
Taking a crap.
dumped.
Is the Christmas rallies over?
What's that?
Is the Christmas rally over?
Guess if you could call that a rally, yeah.
That's all,
I
folks.
guess the Fed. People didn't like what the Fed had to say, I guess, and everything just dumped because they didn't say everything's okay again, guys. Rates are back at zero. But yeah, I think I was a little bit optimistic that we would see like a big jump after the Fed meeting, but then it was the opposite. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of in the same place we've been all year.
Well, we're going down more, right?
It can't get worse.
Yeah, exactly.
It gets worse.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
But for those people who are trying to accumulate right now, this is the Christmas sale.
It's great.
It's great for you. I mean, we're gonna be down here for a while. I think until this trend is broken, we're gonna just keep going down. I don't know how far we're gonna go down. I mean, everyone keeps saying, the TA people keep saying we're gonna go down to like 12 cents. So, I mean, if that's the case, that's an amazing buying opportunity. At this point, who cares, guys? Like, we got a ways to go back up, and just keep accumulating. You know, don't go crazy. Don't buy unless you're a millionaire, buying 100 grand a week. Go nuts. We need a couple more whales in this ecosystem, anyways. But for us regular Joes, buy here or there, like a cup of coffee.
Get yourself a Donald Trump trading card.
We're gonna talk about that, but before we do, I just think outlook-wise, if you're looking at the news and everything, we're looking at a recession for 2023. So I think you're not taking any profits for a while. Like, this is where you make your bags, right? This is where you buy. You don't think about it. Don't touch it. Don't think about it. Let the people who are creating stuff create. If you want to become a creator, build something on Cardano, help the ecosystem out, start working on that. But this is about building right now. It's not about taking profits. It's about building.
Yes.
So get in there. If you're making a product, feel free to come on the podcast, talk about it. Like, let's all work together. But I think this is going to be kind of a bootstrap kind of a thing.
If you're trying to, get a blue chip NFT,
this is the time.
These are your opportunities to DCA and then just, get whatever. I think anything is affordable at this point with the price of ADA, like maybe outside of like Ape Society. It might take a little longer to get something like that, but
I think I might have to try to scoop up
reasonable
Space Bud. I don't know. I'm a really big fan of Alessandro Barry.
Yeah.
Ailes. So
chilled Kongs are still surviving, and they're not like dying off
What are your
with
thoughts
all the
about that? I
FUD.
thought they were gonna die off. I thought they were gone, and they're
But
still here. So
I think when they're like community members, like the two big community members like left the project, I thought it was like kind of like a red flag or like worrisome. But when they left, they didn't like bash the project. Um, so I think that was good for them, but it just makes you wonder like if you're bullish on chilled Kongs and you're like part of the project, would you just leave if unless you saw something you didn't really like? Um, but I think their community is just too strong,
they're really
and they're
strong.
just like they're always. I don't know if people are just buying multiples or if
We can take
yeah.
a look. We can take a look at the holders. Let's go to OpenSea
Um,
NFT and pop that holders position open to see how many. I mean, like some of the influencers on Chilled Kongs, they're just sometimes they flash their wallets and you see they have like hundreds,
30. Yeah.
hundreds of NFTs.
We'll see. We'll see the unique wallets. Uh, I mean, a lot of wallets have
One.
just one, and then 20 have more than, or 45 have more than 20.
It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. Unless people are like making new wallets for this to make it look better, but I feel like that would be a lot of work.
Would
When
so
people
does
don't
this
really
make you want to
care that
buy
much.
one? Would you get back into the community? Pick one up for the mushroom mint?
I
Or are you kind of over it?
I think so. Like, I wouldn't buy one right now, but I have like a price target where
What's
I
your
would.
target?
I think like under 1,000 ADA. I mean, it's not that far from where it is right now, but I just think that whenever it hits that price, it's kind of like support. So
A
I
thousand?
guess if it went under that, it'd probably be bad. But I just think that's where I would want to buy because I like to buy the bottom of the range, not the top.
That's the other thing that weirds me out
What do
about
you
these
think?
floor prices too. It's like I have so many NFTs and I'm just like, do I just like sell them all? And like, cause like I don't know if we keep going
I
down, like
know.
does everything capitulate? And then like there's no liquidity. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes I'm just like, I don't think there's any liquidity right now. Like if I were to put
Oh
my
yeah,
NFTs for sale, like I don't think anybody would buy them. Like it might take a couple weeks, if not months.
yeah. I've
That's how
had a
I
few
feel.
that.
So then it's like, okay, if I'm not getting this ADA right now, it's like, why sell? Like,
Yeah, I had like two clays, and I was trying to sell one, and it took me like weeks to sell the, and I
and that's
was
clay,
pretty
right?
close
That's
to like
like
the
the one of
floor
the
play.
biggest
Yeah,
liquidity. So if it took you weeks to sell clay, like I can't imagine some of these smaller.
but it's also like the higher the price, the fewer
Yeah,
buyers.
that's true. How many people have 3,000 or 3,700 ADA to spend on an NFT?
Um, but yeah, like going back to what you're saying with like selling, I've had the same thought of like, should I just sell everything while I can, like while it's worth something? But I think like I don't think that's the play for me at least. Like I think there's going to be another like resurgence and
I
then
think so
that's
too.
when I need to sell. Like
Yeah.
if I'm going to sell, like sell when shit's popping off.
Yeah.
Like that a few months back when we had that crazy volume. I feel it probably won't happen to that level, but if it's like half of that, I think that's when I would try to sell like anything that I don't really want anymore that could actually sell.
Yeah. It's so hard too because it's like I don't know when. Like, are we? I feel like this is the beginning of this whole thing. So it's like, how do I know? Am I like? I guess like profit's profit, right? So you can't really think of it that way. But like, what if this stuff becomes like really expensive or like I don't know. I guess it has to do more with like following the developers and seeing what they're building on top of the NFT because it's like you only can go so far with branding. But then you say that, but then we have Trump NFTs, right? And like
Yeah,
we
but
all
then I'm
know.
like, is Trump the bottom or the top? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like there's nobody here already. Like the froth out of the
yeah,
market has been gone for 6 months to me. So I mean, you go on Twitter, there's no engagement. Uh, I just don't think it's like
no one knows what NFTs are.
yeah,
Like normal people just have no clue.
yeah. I was reading a tweet. Some guy was saying he was like going into Walmart to print out NFTs on like physical cards to put in his house, and apparently like he walked in early, and the Walmart employees were making fun of like who would print out NFTs like this. He was just standing there.
He's
So
like,
it's like, huh?
he's like,
Those are mine.
I'm
Uh,
lifting.
so
It's
I don't think
brutal.
they're cool anymore. Which is
No,
good because it's
I don't
like
think.
what now we're getting to the place where it's like true value. So it's like if you're here, you're here. Like no one think there's no froth left. No one thinks they're getting rich. You know what I mean? So it's like people who really believe, and until like crypto becomes sexy again, I feel like I'm waiting for that opportunity. And it's like if I lose money on the NFTs that like aren't going anywhere, at least I have a couple that end up doing something, and then I'll sell
Yeah,
those.
yeah. I think it's hard to say. Like, if that market is ever coming back, I don't know. I think if it comes back, it might be in a different form. Like, the NFTs will not be JPEGs; they'll be like something else. You know?
Some type of on chain. The thing that I
Yeah,
always look at it is like these NFTs will be some type of a pass to get through to like some closed Discord that like gives you special access to certain things or technologies that uh that's like I look at it as like if I buy like an Ormob, I'll get access to like and like Netflix. Like you're able to open your
yeah,
Netflix account, like you're able to watch streaming services of something. But like instead of being in like movies and TV shows with Netflix, you're able to access something else, like some special content and you have to have this
yeah,
NFT to get into that store, right? Because I'm seeing this with a lot of shit too. Like I think the world's going in that direction. Like not so much like illegal shit like that, but um there's certain things you could do on the internet that give you access to like making your Twitter account like, oh, you're able to like boost your Twitter engagement. Like you're like these tools that like are very specific to like niche audiences. Like they're able to help you
yeah,
sell your NFTs. You'll like not that to say these tools are good. I'm just saying like these are tools, right? Like you're able to wash trade your NFT collection. Like shit like that. Like you know what I
yeah,
mean? So it's like tools that are really niche, but you know that someone's doing it. You know what I mean? Like I look at the volume on Solana's NFTs and it still cracks me up that it's ahead of us. And I'm like, that's not there's no way that
I know. It's
people
like impossible.
yeah, it's
There's no way
like
there's like $2 million of volume trading in NFTs every single day on a chain that just lost like 90% of its um volume or whatever, or price too. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, I've tried to envision, like, I get Ethereum, like that makes sense,
right.
but Solana's like why would you keep all your money in a chain that's like with FTX, like super shady,
Right.
and you're still gonna do like NFTs there, and it's gonna be like the second biggest chain. It just
Doesn't make
I don't
sense.
get that.
No, but the thing, like, we've seen a couple, like, last year where that article came out where the guy who was on like the most liquid DEX on Solana admitted he was wash trading the whole time, and that's how like they got to
Yeah,
that level. Like they knew it's like, okay, people love this metric. They love total value locked.
TVL.
Yeah, and they love like that sales. It's like, okay, well, it's basically free to trade on Solana. So why don't we just make two accounts, trade back and forth all day with robots, and then make that number go up as high as possible. Like, and then
Yeah,
like some third party, like, uh, these metric websites, like DeFi Llama, they'll look at that number and be like, wow, that's a big number. Well, they're number one, obviously. And we're going to recommend you guys invest in this company because look at that TVL. It's like,
yeah,
why don't you guys like do a little bit of forensics and realize that they're fucking wash trading the whole time instead of just like being fucking lazy and just saying that these
yeah,
guys are great. You know what I mean? And then Ethereum is interesting because like you actually have to pay for that gas. So it's like I like mad props because it's like whoever's spending that amount of money to trade, even wash trade, it's like bravo, you know?
right. Yeah,
And I'm not saying that people don't wash trade on Cardano, they definitely do, but I don't think it's to that extent.
yeah. I feel like I've seen more like AVAX people on Twitter than Solana people.
Yeah, me too.
Like I just don't see their community ever.
Ever. I've never seen anybody, and even when they do, it's always like they're showing some derivative of a Ethereum project, and their
Yeah.
whole account is pretty lame. Like it's always the same shit. It's like they'll follow the biggest Ethereum accounts and then copy paste their tweets from a couple weeks ago. And it's like that's their personality. So it's like hard, it's so cringy to follow those people, you know what I mean? Because it's like even your personality is a derivative of another person.
Yeah. Yeah. I just saw someone like literally copy someone else's like funny tweet, and it was like the same exact joke, and I was like, man, people suck.
It's so cringy.
Like,
It's like goddamn, like that's something we need to fix too, where it's like that's why I don't feel like Twitter is gonna be it for like crypto, like the place we end up, just because it's like uh especially like your account, that's your value. So how do you make that unique to you where no one can copy your shit, right? You almost need some accounting basis where it's like, oh, this person's like has this many unique tweets and they
yeah,
share like this amount of like interesting stuff, but then give people like a number for that, like gamer achievements. Everything needs to be gamified to a certain extent to like show true value, to show like a uniqueness to them. Like if there's TVL for trading, then there should be like some value for unique tweets.
yeah. But then you could just use Chat GPT and make a bunch of weird tweets that kind of make sense.
Don't tell everybody my secrets.
I don't know. It's interesting to be on Twitter right now and like to see what people are talking about, because there's really nothing to make money off of at the moment. But it seems like I don't know if you want to talk about this yet, but like these projects that keep rugging and shit, like I just don't see how people are still buying that shit. Like the egg one.
Yeah, automatic
Like,
Genesis. What was it?
yeah, like Automatica Genesis, I
Automatica
think.
Genesis eggs.
Like I saw that and I was like, the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, I've never seen this before, and it's like on top of Open CNFT. I was like, it looks like whatever, like an egg. And I didn't even like do any research because I was like, I'm not gonna buy that. That looks sketchy as fuck. Like, and there's other stuff I've seen like that, and but how, as someone like the people that are here have been here. Like, there's no new people, right? So I just like, how are people still getting caught up in that? Like, I don't know. Maybe people are more risky than me, but maybe they had never been rugged before. But I just feel like a project like that is easy to like filter out if you just, you know, pick up on like shit doesn't come out of nowhere in a bear market and just go crazy, especially when you haven't heard it on like Twitter or social media or like it just doesn't happen without manipulation, you know? And then if there's manipulation, like that's a red flag. Like don't try to ride the wave, like, you know?
Yeah. I think there's just different levels of consciousness in human beings. Like the more and more I look into it, like there's people who are very well-rounded individuals that like have a life and they have a family outside of this world. And then there's people who are here who are almost like NPCs, right? They're non-playable characters and they're kind of fucking broken. And all they know is like NFTs. And that's their whole life. That's their whole ecosystem is they live and die by these new projects. And they're not thinking about like they don't go deep. They just see the new project on the front page, they buy it. Right?
Yeah.
And it's
They're
like
like, can I make money off this? Will this be
there's always
my
there's always going to be winners and losers. And like I hate to say it, but there's some people who are just like born losers and it's like in a market like you just have people who lose, right? And they're just going to you almost need those people to like buy that shit and it's like they're just going to be there base level baseline. They're just going to always take that shot regardless of how far it is. You know, there's people who buy lottery tickets, right? And you know that like what are the
yeah,
fucking odds of buying a lottery ticket and winning? It's almost fucking it's insane. But they still do it
yeah,
every fucking day. They buy scratch off tickets. It's that same person, but they know a little bit about technology, so they're here. They're buying NFTs. They're taking their shot. They're not looking into the project. They're not seeing that like oh we have Chat GPT, we have AI bots that can create this art like that Automatica. I'm like that's fucking I can make that. Like that's AI generated art. Like there's nothing unique about it. You
yeah,
fucking put in a couple prompts and like you get that. Like it's not it's like you're starting to see this with the NFTs too, where it's a lot of it's taking over. Where that's why I'm really suspicious about most of the new projects is because it's so fucking easy to make AI art. Like for our show, like all the wallpapers are AI. You know what I mean?
yeah,
This one behind me,
yeah,
AI art. Love it. I think it looks fucking cool. It's not very hard to make. Like it's not. I like, but it looks cool, and it's like it's very detailed and like I could sell these on um JPEG store and I'm sure somebody would buy it for 5.8 or whatever. But um the
there's
level
gonna
of
be another one, you know?
what do you mean?
They're gonna do the same thing, like,
They're
they've already
gonna
made money
they're
doing it.
gonna well because it's like think about it like if it takes you 10 hours to set up the Twitter page, to set up the Discord, to make the art, but you end up making $1,000, that's still profit. Like some people don't have a soul. Some people don't care if they fuck people over. So like all they care is
Yeah,
like I made $1,000 today. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep tricking people because I don't know these people. They're on the internet and like there's a lot of cool people on Twitter who do care, and like that's who we like engage with. But there's also like the bad side who are just like watching us talk to each other, and they're gonna like they're just figuring out ways how to like engage us to like take our money because that's all they care about. They're just like as long as my fucking hardware wallet has another 1,000 ADA tomorrow, I win. And they're kind of
yeah,
sociopaths. So it's like you kind of got to look out for those people. And like you and me, like we do our research, we try to figure out like good projects. We're like, this thing's unique. Let me look at the community. Are they like engaging people? Are they having real conversations? Or are they just pumping
yeah,
their fucking bags like every other fucking project where they're just like, don't miss out. Like they're trying to make FOMO, right? Like our like get on our
right.
whitelist, engage with his Twitter. Like, love shared, tag 3 people in this. It's just like I see those words and it turns me off. I already fucking click like mute on that like
Yeah,
anytime I see that shit because it's like been done for the last 2 years so many times. It's like you guys are just following the same roadmap that's been done. Like if I'm going to spend my ADA on a project, you have to do something new at this point. I can't keep doing this
right.
again. Like I already have 12 of these. I don't need another one. Like there's nothing unique about your project.
It's just a different picture. It's like everyone has the same like, "Oh, we're doing a wait list. We're doing
Mhm.
Discord, like grind out a Discord wait list," or it's just like I'm interested in like different shit now. Now now I'm laughing because I have the essence of Fud Buddies as my background. I'm talking about like dumb projects, and I'm like, I bought this one because it's so basic and like it shouldn't be a thing. And I was just like, this is funny. But I'm like, I'm not buying this because I think I'm gonna get rich off of it. I'm buying it because I think it's funny.
Yeah, it
And
kind of
that's
turns
where I'm at with NFTs at this point.
right. Yeah, cuz like that is what's the idea behind that project? I have a Fud Buddy. I have a Fud
You
Pet,
basically,
but
if you have a Fud Buddy and it has a unique like color signature in it, he'll make you like he'll make you a pixelated version that has like 3 colors. But I think it was kind of like a dig at the hunks thing because it's like that shit is so easy to make,
yeah.
like just the pixelated stuff, and
So he was
I
just
just
trying
thought
to
it was funny,
show that like, hey, this
like
Hunks
how
project
easy
is so simple. Like there's nothing unique about it. Like you guys are just trading this to
you're throwing pixels out there,
yeah, and then trying to
like
like
30 pixels, and it's already been done with like crypto punks and all
punks,
that
yeah.
stuff. Like, yeah,
It's so tiresome sometimes, you know?
yeah,
Just like there's nothing special out there. I mean, like I like Claymates. I don't have an Ape Society, but I enjoy that community. Um, I like Ormob, um, but they're like unique. You know, they're doing their own thing. I like Bored Ape Yacht Club. I think they're interesting. I love that like their metaverse is really fucking cool. Like, but they also have a shit ton of money to
you're
do
the
that kind of
OGs.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. NFTs are still gonna be here, you know.
yeah,
I just think that the stuff that's coming out right now is not exciting. Like Ore Mob was probably the last one that was kind of cool, but
they're pumping today.
even they need to do something more, you know. They need to have like I think they're just all marketing at this point, but um yeah. I think this next year is going to be all about like pushing things further like with existing projects instead of like the weekly minting thing that was last year. I just don't think new projects are gonna, unless they're promising the moon or something.
Are you seeing
They're
anything
really not
interesting
gonna.
out there as far as like that idea?
As far as what?
What you just said instead of weekly minting, like going deeper.
I think like the Cardano Crocs Club and stuff like that. Like they weren't. I never thought they were anything
So what's the
interesting.
idea
And
behind
then,
that? Why don't you tell the audience?
well, I haven't really like. I don't have one, and I don't know much about it to be honest. But I've just seen that they're like constantly trying to like put out new shit, like their poker stuff and like
Yeah.
staking, and
Don't they make a
I think
stable
that's
coin or
the play.
something too for
Yeah,
their poker
that
game?
was another thing.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I like that
But
because it's like if you win in a poker game, it's like you want to keep your winnings somewhere. And it's like
Yeah.
we haven't really had a lot of options. Like, what is it, December 18th? And we have IUSD as a stable coin, which has been working nice. It's like it's been stable the whole time,
Yeah.
but we need more. So it's kind of cool that they're like we're having NFT projects that have developers that are capable of making a stable coin. It's like, no, I don't want to use an NFT stable coin. No, but I like that someone's trying that. Like, I love that grassroots approach.
Yeah. And like Pavia, they actually were having people play like their like open world game or whatever.
That's what
The
I'm excited
metaverse
about,
thing.
right? Like Pavia,
Yeah.
Cornucopias, uh, Beyond Rockets,
Makosi.
Makosi, like they've had their year and a half to build. Now it's time to start showing people what the fuck these metaverses are starting to be. Like, I want to see something. Like, you guys have plenty of time. I don't care if it's like basic building blocks that I could walk around, but I want to feel out like what this place is going to be like. If especially if like you're an investor in these
Yeah.
projects, like show me the flying mechanics of your bubble jets in Cornucopia. Like I want to feel what it's
Right.
gonna be like to fly.
I
Like
don't
and
want to
if it
see a trailer.
sucks, if it fucking sucks, then you'll know, right? Like then there's nothing unique about this. But if it's like really fucking fun to just fly around in this metaverse, I might start buying more shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they had people playing it at CNFT Con and it
Right.
looked pretty good.
Right.
Um, I didn't see the bubble jets though. What about like Yummy Universe though? Like, what are they doing?
Man, uh
I love them,
I
but
love them
what are
too.
they doing?
That thing that bothers me about Yummy Universe is they're very quiet. Like they can do this because they just they just make their shit. But they do have Plutus V2 like developers, and they know how to code. And I think they're supposed to be making a game, but I haven't heard a goddamn thing about it. And like the guy's been on some spaces, and he's like, I am not gonna fucking put anything out until I am proud of it. I'm happy with it. Like it's like you guys will not see it. And that's kind of his
Oh,
vibe and his style. And I'm like, that's kind of braggadocious and like, okay, like I'm in. Like I'm in. Like I just like a shit. I've got a couple yummies. I got a couple Narus. They're
physical
staking.
yummies.
I bought a Naru pillow for my kid. I'm in, man. I like the shit. I think it's cool. They've been here for a really long time. They're not going anywhere. They have a real physical store. They sell real physical shit. So I like that idea too, where it's like,
I'm in too. I'm just saying.
I know,
I would like
you're
to see
excited to see
a
something.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. But
Is it
Cozy
gonna
2
be
is
like a
cool.
GTA situation where it's like 4 years and then they release like this
Yeah,
amazing game, but
I think that's what it's
you
gonna
don't get
be.
any sneak peek?
I think that's what it's gonna be.
Mike, there was very exciting developments this week, especially with a new NFT that came out, the Trump digital trading card collection. What'd you think of these guys?
I didn't really look into them. I texted you early on in the week, and I was like, "Man, I should probably buy one just to sell because I feel like there's so many diehard like Republicans and Trumpers that gonna buy them." And
Yeah.
that turned out to be right, Eric, because these things are fucking selling like hotcakes, and they're not like uniquely
What are they
interesting.
at now?
Like
I'm
three
gonna
and a
check
half.
real quick.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look. Pop it open, Eric. I think it's like 3.5 ETH. It's fucking crazy.
Point. Wait.
Yeah.
Hold
Oh yeah.
on.
That's how much
I thought about it too. I was like, I should just buy one.
they're going
Is anything
nuts.
with Trump's name? Oh, 0.41 ETH, which is like what, $600 or something?
I mean craziness. What do they start at? Like $100?
Yeah, they're $100. I saw it like the second it came out, and I was like, it was still at 0.01 ETH or something.
Damn.
I was like, I could just buy one, like, but I don't have Ethereum like readily available.
Now with the Polygon chain, are you able to just use cash? Like with JPEG Store, I know you could just use a credit card. Do they have that capability too? Do you know?
They might. I haven't really messed with Polygon, but I know like what's the other one? There's another layer too, like Loop Ring. They have that, like an on ramp, on chain. So I think you can. But I think it's
they're
hilarious
very
that you
cool.
put it on Polygon. Like what boomer knows what Polygon
No,
is?
he's just selling his likeness, and then there's an NFT team that's like, let's sell the shit out of these things because they're gonna make a ton of money. And you know they've already
Yeah,
I think they already sold like
and they did.
1.2 million already in sales. Like they're just making tons of money. Go to the
Yeah, it's crazy.
analytics tab.
To the moon.
To the moon. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna dump off a cliff now.
Yeah, it's
I'd
almost
be very worried to like hang on to these things long term.
there's 65,000 or 45,000 of them. Like the
Now,
fact that it's at this level is
if
insane.
if we were smart, we would go talk to the Biden team and sell Biden NFTs on Cardano.
They already did
Did they?
Biden ones on.
Damn it.
They're so dumb. I think it's hilarious.
All right, let's do DeSantis. Let's do
Just any politician. You can do
but
Trump on Cardano and people would buy it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know.
That I'm sure someone's doing that right fucking now. Once people start making money on a chain, they're just like, let's make a derivative. But that makes me happy because you know that there's still like blood in the system. There's still like you're seeing like suckers. Like mass media, like regular people are still going to be interested in this stuff, and it's not going anywhere. Like the previous president of the United States is making NFTs in December of 2022. Like this is just going to keep happening. Like so,
yeah.
That's why I'm so hesitant to sell everything, just because I think like the longer these
it's
NFT
only dead because no one's making money on crypto in general, and that's what brings people in. And we're just going to be in a bear market for like, I don't know, another 2 years. But there's always like that cultural, you know, thing that takes hold and like revitalizes everyone. And I don't know if like Bored Apes was the end of it or just the beginning, you know.
The other thing that I am like interested about is I don't think it's NFT's fault. I think it's bigger than that. I think it's like with the Fed raising interest rates, they just kind of sucked all the money out of everything. And like that's what they're trying to do. So it's like you're still seeing activity, you're still seeing people engaged. It's just like all the people who are just here to make money left. And so all you have is like the degenerates, the diehards who really like this stuff, and the people making this stuff. And that's who you have. And I think as long as that community is still here, when the Fed ends up turning the faucet back on with liquidity, it's going to go right back up. Because now that you have like, so what's happening is like, because this whole world is shrinking down with all the liquidity leaving, what you're left with is people, creators who are like making the coolest, most interesting shit, like because they know that people don't have a lot of money, so they have to make it like really, really, really good. And so like like all the shit projects leave and you're left with like 3 or 4 gems that are really like churning out really interesting projects and really interesting use cases. And maybe like all those people who are making their own thing, they condense down, right? And then they jump on those projects that are making really cool shit. And so
Yeah.
like all the talent gets condensed into these projects, these top 10 projects, and they end up making a new really cool thing. Like it's like getting all the Avengers together, right? And then they like
Yeah.
start building out something really interesting because like there's just no money left. So it's like, okay, let's just work together to make something new. Like all hands on deck, you know? It's like that's kind of why I like a bear market, because then when they do make something interesting and it pops off, because you're here and the rest of the retail isn't, you can just jump on that train really cheaply. But then retail notices it, right? Because it becomes part of the zeitgeist. People start making TikToks about it, people start making YouTube shorts, and then it blows the fuck up. But you're
Yeah.
ahead of the train, right? Because you're just here already because you're a degenerate.
Yeah. I remember thinking like, man, I'm never gonna get the opportunity that Mike had to buy Cardano at like 20 cents or whatever.
2 cents.
And now 2 cents. Well, yeah. But even like 20 cents seemed unrealistic.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, I'm here. I can do it. And like it's depressing and everything, but like I'm able to buy every week,
Super
a
cheap.
small amount.
Yeah.
And then like when it finally turns around, like I'm gonna be in the green, or like
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be able to do whatever I want in the ecosystem, and I'm gonna have such a leg up on everyone because I know like how everything works.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like trying to figure it out like during a bull run or something.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's kind of cool, but like on the day to day stuff, it makes you like question like what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
But I think if you zoom out, it's like when shit gets popping off again, it's gonna be even better than the last time.
Yeah. And you'll know when to sell, right? You'll know when things get frothy. You'll know
Yeah,
like when an NFT pops
and there's
off.
too much euphoria.
Yeah, you'll also understand that it's like, okay, I'll buy 2 of these and then I'll sell one. And I'll keep one. And you know that mentality where it's like, I have to keep everything because it's gonna go to the fucking moon.
I have to have 12 and keep them all
Right.
because they're all gonna be. Yeah,
This is fucking gold. Yeah, and that's the fun part, but it's like this is the hard part. Like this has been a lot harder for me this time around because there's just been so much bad news. But then you start to zoom out, you start to realize like it's always going to be like this. There's always going to be cycles, and there's just like the news is different, like, but it's the same shit like behind the scenes. It's just
yeah,
like now I'm just like looking at the price. I'm like, oh my god, these prices are so amazing. Like I'm like, they're so fucking juicy. Like I'm not like I feel greedy, and that's probably when you should buy, right? When it's like, holy fuck, like if this thing goes down to 20 cents, like I could buy like so much Cardano. It's not even funny. And then you just
yeah,
see the way things are priced in NFTs. It's like that's a space bud right there. I could buy that for $100. Like it's just like it's kind of nice, and you get to take your time, like because there's no froth in the market. It's like, all right, I'll buy a space bud next week. Then after that, I'll get an ore mob, and then I'll look on the dexes and find some tokens. I'm trying to find like maker token is like under a cent, under an ADA, which is
yeah,
crazy because like you're able to buy some of these at ICO prices, right? Like the big boys were getting this is their discounted price, and you're getting that on the open market. It's kind of
yeah,
insane because like if there's any froth in the market, most of this shit's gonna pop off 50%, and then you could sell, right? You don't need Cardano to go to $3 for these native tokens to, for you to profit off of
Yeah.
because they're at all-time lows. So it's just like, and those are the ones that pump the fucking hardest. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of fun to
Yeah.
have these smaller bags, and then you look back in a couple months, you're like, holy shit, like that's my biggest bag now. You know what I mean? Like these
Yeah.
smaller tokens. Like I was buying World Mobile Token a while ago when it was like 48 cents, and now it's like popping off. And it's like
Nice.
cool. Like, like you never fucking know. So it's like,
Then there's also your Ardanas, you know?
yeah. But you kind of knew that was the writing on the wall from a while ago because they didn't really do anything this whole year. And like
Yeah.
I was sketched out from the jump. Like I bought Ardana right when it was listed on centralized exchanges like you and me. And it went from like $6 to $14. And then it's been bleeding ever
We
since.
thought we were we thought we were geniuses, and it never returned to that.
No. They had a decent team too. That's the weird part. It's like people were looking at their code. They were making stuff, but they just they didn't have like that's when you start to look into these teams and be like, you need a real leader for these projects.
Yeah.
So everything's like a teachable moment where it's like if you're sketched out by the leader and when you hear spaces and something just feels wrong, it's like don't go all in on that guy. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Like Liquid.
Well, that remains to be seen.
Yeah. I s yeah.
He just seems like
I'm
an
still,
asshole.
holding on for that. Yeah.
I still got my
Yeah, I think
liquid.
he's
I
just
have
more
a
of like a straight capitalist who doesn't care
yeah.
about,
I think he
like
doesn't care about other
like
people's projects. I think he cares about liquid and that's it.
yeah.
Like and anything else that's like a competitor, he's fucking cutthroat about it. He does not want them to succeed. And like you said, yeah, he's probably just like a hardcore capitalist. And that's fine. As long as the
Yeah.
fucking technology works, that's all I care about. And that's why I still have some
Yeah.
because I'm gonna use it. Like there's certain projects I'm buying into to speculate to I think they'll profit and then I'll take profit. And then there's other things that I think like protocols that are gonna be utilities that are just gonna spit out a couple $100 every week for me. And I think Liquid's
Right.
one of those projects where it's like I can put money into this thing and it's not about making the token price. It's just like it's gonna spit out cash. Like you know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be
Yeah.
anything sexy, but it's like it's gonna be nice to just like
It's like
get
if you had sorry. I didn't
no,
mean to
no,
cut you
please, please, please.
off. It's like if you had a, ape society, like the people who had it before it went crazy, they got to do all the staking and make bank off just the staking, like forget
Yep.
about the price of the NFT. Like they were making bank off that token. And I think you'll have a similar opportunity with Liquid if you have that token
Right.
because you're just going to have like so much more
Right.
to play with because there's not very many out there in the beginning. But like as time goes on, it'll be more and more. Like there'll be more and more tokens released. So if you're in there from the beginning, you're gonna have the best
Returns.
chance to make like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I hope Axo Trade goes live too, because I have some of those.
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting like the price to go crazy because nothing is in the whole space. I just
Right.
want them to work, right? If it's a legitimate project that spits out money, it doesn't have to like go up to 1,000x. Like I just like a couple percent like a return rate would be cool. We just don't have that. Like I want a fucking project to come along where it's like this thing's just a straight utility. It's like electricity through ComEd where it's like I use it every fucking month. I pay the bill, but in return I get electricity back. Like I need something like that on Cardano, right?
Yeah.
And I'm hoping projects like these are legitimate projects that do something and they're not about speculating on a coin's price to go up and down. It's just like we offer loans.
AGIX.
AGIX, yes. I really like they do cool shit on
They can,
Ethereum. I'm hoping they do that on Cardano eventually, but I think just coding on Cardano is hard. So, but I love the idea of having a fund, right? Like I put $1,000 into the AGIX protocol, and it's going to use an AI to trade and do arbitrage on all the native tokens. And every fucking week, I'm getting 10% return. And
yeah,
I take that money, I get my $100. I could use that to buy groceries with or buy an NFT with. But I leave that $1,000 in there, and every fucking month it spits out money for me. Like that would be fucking
yeah,
cool. And I think we're getting there. It's just taking a while.
yeah. I think we're in like the technology space, and from the outside world, it seems like technology moves so fast, but when you're like watching it every day, it feels slow.
Yeah.
But then once you like realize, if you like look at last year, you realize like,
How much
oh,
has
it did
grown?
move pretty
Oh
fast.
yeah.
Yeah, like
No, it's insane. Yeah. All the cool shit we have now. It's
yeah,
just like most of it was speculated. Like, so it's like, damn it. Like, I want that money to come back into the system, but it's
yeah,
good. It's like I said, like everything's condensed now. So it's like when that faucet gets turned back on, it's just like all your assets will be worth so much more. And like I noticed that with the last cycle too, where I had a bunch of altcoins and I fucking sold everything at the bottom, and then everything went 1,000x from there. So it's like I was like last cycle I was way more of a Bitcoin maxi, but I've just learned so much now. And everyone always tells you everything's going to zero. Everything you own's going to zero. And it's like it tends not to be the case. So I'm hanging out to all my native tokens, all my weird NFTs.
ones that go to zero are like the ones that were always questionable,
Well, even the
or they
fucking
only work
like
in a bear market or bull market.
yeah, like I
You know,
had well, even I had like Ethereum Classic, and that went from like I think I had it like at $6, and it went to like 100. And then I
oh
sold it,
wow,
and I bought a pair of shoes. It was like nice because it was in a random wallet that I had that I was like, holy shit, like I have like $240. And it was like spent $6 on that. So
yeah, and that's why people should buy Ergo, because it's only a
yes,
dollar
Ergo is
and
fucking
30 cents or something.
huge play, and there's not a lot of it, and they have a great team that builds. So,
Yeah,
but
I think that's what
go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I think that's what's like keeps me invested in them, is like their team is always putting out new stuff,
Yeah,
even though like very few people care about Ergo. It's like they're still building, and I think they'll be around for a while.
yeah, they're gonna build, and they build fast too, right? It's not like they're taking 6 months
Yeah,
to build something. They're every couple weeks there's something new on there. So they're all diehards. They're not leaving. Like,
yeah.
but closing remarks, guys. Next week we're gonna be doing our award show. We'll be giving out awards for all of our projects, all of our winners and losers for the year. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be exciting.
Let us know in the comments any categories you want us to cover.
Yeah,
and, we'll make it happen.
definitely. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be very fun, very lighthearted. Don't take anything we say personally. It's just, we're going to be having fun with the place, with all of our rugged projects. And stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good time. But until then,
We'll see you next week.
see you next week. Happy holidays.